There's a special place that I like to go with nobody's home to increase my understanding. My daily bread, that amazing. I'm talking about precepts. Precept on precept, line upon line, precept on precept, line upon line. Babe, I can't keep explaining, can't study for you. I can't think of.
We are not a hate group. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Shalom, Israel. Welcome to another edition to Precept Upon Precept. We're the Late Show. We are your hosts. My name is Captain Shem.
Captain Matt.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Yasa.
Officer Micah.
Hey, so all praise. Hey, I was just thinking real quick. When we first started this show, it was 2018, and this exact crew was here, but then we had another brother. Shout out to Brother Ethan. That brother was a big part of our show, and we need to have Ethan on the show. We should have him on the show. That brother is doing great work still in Israel. So look, without further ado, we're going to go right to Officer Micah with the Watchman report. Stick around, y'all.
Hey, shalom, Israel, most high in Christ. Bless. Happy closing of the feast. Let's get right to the articles. All right, check this out. Secret Service elevated President Stewart. Potential second Trump assassination attempt. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make it up. It's getting dangerous out there. All right, check this out. Y'all out there on the West Coast. Home Depot to pay $2 million settlement for overcharging customers. That's right. Northern Kingdom, hey, look out. Y'all might get paid. Hey, always at Home Depot. Straight up. Israel behind deadly pager explosion that targeted Hezbollah. Thousands in Lebanon. Hey, that's a good read right there. You get the opportunity, about 5-6 minutes to read it. Check it out. Last one. Saudi Arabia will not recognize Israel without Palestinian state, says the Crown Prince. That was another good read. It's about 1 minute. So y'all get an opportunity to read these articles. And this concludes the Watchman Report.
Hey, shalom. Welcome back. Precept Upon Precept, your late show. Be sure to share this in the morning. A lot of y'all asleep. Shout out to our West Coast and our Mountain Time listeners who it's a little early. We appreciate y'all. Next, like we do at every show, we go to our thumbnail that our Officer Mikael creates for us using AI technology.
So tonight's title is Esau, the Warmonger, Proxy, and Deception. So here you have Netanyahu and Biden, showing you that they're the same eagle. They're in cahoots in this war. The proxy and deception in the background, you have the cherubims with the turning swords of fire. That deception from Genesis chapter 4, showing you how Esau operates.
Damn, this is some. I like this. And by the way, I gave this to Mikael only 3 hours ago. So this is beautiful because you're using AI, but you have to, the man that creates the AI, you have to have the thought behind it. So y'all that I don't know a lot about AI, but what I see here is the spiritual demon Satan is in the background. You see his black wings right there? And so tonight we're going to get in. By the way, Bishop Nathaniel, if you look at, I can't point to it, but on the lower, if you're looking at the screen, lower right-hand corner, there's a PayPal, and we would be honored if you could point to it maybe. Okay. Captain Matt's come to put. There you go. If you could go ahead and make a donation. Is this for the land, right, Asa? Is it okay? Donation. All praise to the Most High. We're trying to get our own land, and the Booster Club is sending the prophets of the Most High throughout all of the world, even way over there in the Pacifica Islands. So, all praises to the Most High. So, get me Genesis and war was in his heart, because you mentioned that. And as I was looking throughout the week for today's show, I was torn between, did I want to go into what happened with Russia and NATO or what happened in Beirut? And I said, wait a minute. It's the same exact thing, and it's the same force behind both. Yep. And that force behind both is the American white man, a.k.a. Babylon the Great. He's behind all the wars on the planet Earth. And these are the two that we're going to talk about tonight. So if we can get that, and brothers, please, Officer Yas, Officer Micah Mikael, at any time, your input is very valuable. I don't want to, I talk so much, I get myself a headache. Ezekiel's got a headache just looking at me. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21.
And by the way, shout out, the main lead tech guy, Akiem, used to be in the red. Now he's almost in the green, meaning he's very fat. He's not now. And he's actually put these little cool markers here so we know how to stay centered. Because as he lost a lot of fat, the mind became clear. So it's over 45. I just say whatever I say now. I don't even care. Go ahead.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
So Esau's words, thank you for that, Officer Mike. I said Genesis, not Genesis, Psalms. So war is always in his heart. No matter how we talk, I'm all for democracy, pushing democracy and Christianity throughout the earth. It sounds smooth, and in theory, it is. Wow, Christian, God loves everybody. Let's vote to get the people in. When in the whole college electoral process has nothing to do with your vote. Nothing at all. So all praise to the Most High. So let's go ahead, and brothers, if you want to open up, please say something, and the stage is open. First article, number 1. So put the thumbnail back up real quick. One thumbnail is about a proxy war. So if you can you pull up the NATO countries? I know I didn't tell you to get it, because I want to look at why this war is being fought. A proxy war through Ukraine fighting Russia. Why? Because of this. Okay. So we got our NATO countries. Does it have anything with bigger writing than that? Do me a favor. Pull up Wikipedia. They actually have a very good breakdown. So in the meantime, let's all at home. Let's all look, and they have it alphabetically from looks like from left to right, and you can see the flags. Okay, and I want a map. Wikipedia. That's it right there. Now, so that's not it's a little older map, and the reason why we say that is because we know that the Baltic region with Sweden and Finland, they just became official members in 2024. It's a little bit older of a map. There's a map that shows the Ukraine in like pink or red, because as we get into tonight's show, they're going to make Ukraine part of NATO. And we may see World War III. I don't know how old, if we're going to be alive, but there's a chance it might go down in our lifetime in this room right here. Oh, gosh.
You want the map?
It's not even your fault. There's a map that shows members that are trying to get in, and it shows the Ukraine, because Ukraine is a giant country. A lot of people don't realize Ukraine is bigger than France. I will use that. This is good. This is good, Akim. So if you can blow, I'm throwing them a curveball. I didn't give them this in their defense. Kind of blow that up a little bit. So, Officer Yasa, I don't know, can you see that? I want to get brothers involved.
No, I can't
just
see that either.
Can he? No, it's kind of dark, right? Captain Matt, you can see it pretty good. Break this thing down, man. Break this thing down.
So Go ahead, zoom in some more. So the dark blue are the member countries of NATO right now. All right. So you got Germany. Let's start west of Russia, because this is where all of the tension is coming from. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Poland, Hungary, Romania, the Czech Republic, Germany, Netherlands, Luxembourg, France, Italy, and then that little space right there, that little gray area. Funny how it's a gray area, right? That little gray area, that's where NATO is playing right now in regards to the Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, and here's the thing. We did a lot of shows. Y'all got to go back and check some of our shows. We've been covering this for years. So there's another country that is to the east of the Ukraine. It's further east, called Kazakhstan. They tried the same exact thing. Kazakhstan is a bigger border, and what they did is we didn't play any games. They went in and they shut stuff down. And now the Ukraine, if you put the map back up, the light blue. Okay, I'll look at it this way. There we go. So the Ukraine, and by the way, they call that the breadbasket of Central Europe. Why? Huge farming industry, an immense amount of grain that goes out of that area. And for thousands of years, that has been a very fertile land. The Ukraine is the subject of this whole war that we're about to see between NATO and Russia. It shares a very large border, okay, with Russia. And also, you've got the Black Sea to its south. So all of this really is, if they secure the Ukraine, then what's going to happen is, if they become a NATO country, every NATO country, according to Article 51 or 52, is going to be brought immediately into the war, immediately by decree. So,
because if they make it a NATO country, which they said that they wouldn't, Russia is definitely going to retaliate, which if you attack one NATO state, you attacked all of them. And then everybody, like you said, is going to get brought into the war.
And so when you look at Russia, it's not labeled Russia, but when y'all at home look at Russia, Russia is, can we circle that whole landmass as Russia? We did a show about 2 months ago, not even with, excellent, this is excellent, not even with nuclear ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles, with regular conventional heavy-duty warfare missiles from Russia. They can hit, scroll over, please. They can hit the most furthest sections of Europe. That's not even with ICBM. They can hit Portugal. They can hit Spain. They can hit England, Scotland, Norway, Iceland. They can hit them all. Yep. I'm not talking. So they can beef with them without nuclear and blow up cities like London, Lisbon, Portugal, Madrid, Spain, Paris, France. They can hit them all. And so what we're finding is there's some countries in the NATO that are like, yo, we don't want problems with Russia. And this is the division between the NATO countries, which is going to divide Revelation 17 about the 10 horns shall hate the whore. So there's a quick recap about NATO and why this proxy war is going on. Give me the word proxy war. We covered it 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Cap, not to mention the fact that, remember, we just found out that because NATO didn't want to give Turkey a voice,
right?
Didn't want to accept them as far as them offering things to NATO, Turkey said, all right, I'm going to go join BRICS.
That just happened.
That just happened.
And you know what's heavy? Because I was looking at the map as you were talking, I was thinking back. Turkey joined NATO in 1952. So they've been a member of NATO for 70 years. Pull up the map one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Esau said Turkey feels like, you know, when you walk into a room and people don't want you there, how awkward it feels.
Yep.
He said that's how Turkey felt in NATO.
Yo, look. So Turkey is the old school. They're not the new kid on the block. If you look at Turkey, which is, thank you, brother, they came in at the same time as Greece, Italy, just right after Italy, and these other guys like Romania, Bulgaria, and even Norway and Finland, they came in 2024. And Turkey is, like Cap Matt said, they are literally going to do business with doggone BRICS. And that shows you like Poland, okay? Germany, by the way, I don't know if you're paying attention to read international news. Germany's economy is tanking. Go Google it, look into it. It's the fourth largest economy on the planet Earth, the number one in Europe, and their businesses are leaving by the drones. Their economy is in recession. It's going down. Dang. And guess what? In 2022, before the war started, they were thriving. Why? Russian commodities cheap. It's hard to beat. Yep. I'm telling you right now, these NATO are going to turn on America. Now, if you could, Mikhail, break that down. Get into that proxy war, because we covered the proxy war before. Break that down.
So a proxy war, read that for me? I can't see that.
A proxy war instigated by the major powers which does not itself become involved. The end of the
So a proxy war means they use other people. They use other people to fight their wars for them. It's like, I'm going to throw a rock and hide my hands and say Captain Matt did it.
They
instigated. They instigate.
Come on, Tom. Come on.
They are instigating the war. Who's instigating the war? America, Babylon the Great. They're instigating this war in Ukraine. They're also instigating everything in Israel, believe it or not. Because they say, oh, we're trying to get them not to continue to kill those people in Gaza, but yet you continue sending weapons to Israel. Make it make sense.
They can stop that anytime they want if they stop sending them bombs.
But they don't want to.
So they're the ones, actually, if you sending the bombs, you really doing the killing. So over 50,000 deaths, women and children are on the United States ticket.
They're actually fighting the proxy war on two fronts.
Mm-hmm. And to your point, I remember I had to study things called acts of war. Mm-hmm. And any opposing country that feels or deems that the actions that are being taken to their country and it's disrupting the peace, that's considered an act of war. And they can retaliate with necessary military force to repel their border. So that people don't understand if, like, let's say Putin feels that his country, the peace and sovereignty of his country is being threatened by a formidable asset, he can launch an attack that he deems necessary.
That's what he did.
Yeah, that's what he did.
That's exactly
he's
what
justified.
he did.
He felt threatened, and so he's doing what he have to do to try to keep his country intact. You notice he's surrounded by the blue. But I wanted to mention about Poland, because Poland has some interesting things to say about this whole situation. In fact, they told Britain, get the hell out.
Yes.
Get the hell out.
Yeah.
Yes.
He told Belkin, we don't want to fight your war, because they just as close as Ukraine, right? So, and they done already seen Russia ain't even flexing yet, and they tearing that Ukraine booty up. They tearing them up. So other countries are in the same bucket, because if all of those countries were on board, Ukraine wouldn't be begging for weapons. The other countries would give him weapons. They have never been on board. They're like, are you crazy? On our land? No way.
Hey, to that point, all the NATO operated weapons can only be operated by NATO soldiers.
Right.
And guess who those NATO soldiers are?
And so that's exactly what we're going to go into now. Going into it, we showed you the history, NATO encroachment, and it goes back to 1990-91 when the Soviet Union broke apart. There were treaties that said that NATO would not expand. Because remember, Turkey came in 52, Italy in 49, and those treaties, like Esau did with the Gad, the Native Americans, he broke every single one with his own brother Esau. The problem is Russia got just as many nukes as the U.S. So pull up the first one. We're going to show you, this is a military history page, a military ammo page, and they're going to tell you that actually, to Mikhail's point, U.S. or NATO-affiliated drones and weaponry, they're blowing up missile encampment depots in Russia, not on the border, inside Russia. This is what I'm saying. We may see World War III in the next couple of years. This stuff is getting serious, y'all. So play that video. It's just short.
We're going to talk about Ukraine attack on the Russian ammo depot that is located to the northwest of Moscow. This is exactly the consequences of Ukraine attack. Currently, we don't know for...
Pull up the map of eastern Russia. I'm sorry. Western Russia, because I want us to look at Moscow, and then I want us to look at the depot's location and show you if they can hit that, they can hit Moscow, they can hit the port city of, I forget the name of the port city. That's Western. Say St. Peter. Now, look at Moscow, which is in the red square. Now, I want you to hold the map to the side, go back to the video, listen to the location of the depot, and we're going to track back.
What kind of weapon the Ukrainians were using for this attack. Furthermore, first we're going to attack on the Russian ammo depot that is located to the northwest of Moscow. This is exactly the
concept. The northwest of Moscow.
Okay, so we'll just use that for now. Go back to the map. So let's find that red square. There you go, okay. It's in the purple, there you go. Okay, so northwest is going to be, let's just find a square. Let's go, so in between the square and, is it, I can't read it, simple, what does it say, simp? Look right above it, says, yeah.
Smolus.
So let's just say halfway between Moscow and that word, they were able to hit, right where the O is in Moscow, yes. So somewhere around there, they were able to hit a missile with a depot, whatever the hell it was, and they blew up a lot. It was a $39 facility. They blew up a lot of weapons. We're about to watch the explosion. So now, and that was allegedly Ukrainian high-tech drones. No, it wasn't. Okay, if that was the case, then why in the beginning of the war wasn't they doing that? Exactly. In the beginning, why wasn't they hitting down? It's because now they basically lost, and what's going to happen is they're going to create some avenue, then the NATO is going to enter into the war, and they're going to use the Ukraine as a proxy. They're going to see all these Stinger missiles, all these long-range missiles. They're going to start hitting cities, and Russia's going to bomb the out of all these European countries, and it's going to get thick. It's going to get thick.
Let's just be honest. The U.S. over there fighting in Ukraine, because I mean they couldn't hold their own against a neighbor, and now they sort of holding their own against a powerhouse like Russia, and the United States of America can't really take them down like that. Come on now.
And Putin made it clear that Ukraine has no technology to be able to see inside of Russia. It's U.S. satellites that's pinpointing them, and in order for the missiles that they want to get, it would have to be the U.S. that could guide them. They couldn't even guide them. They don't have the equipment to guide those missiles that they want to give them.
So they enjoying NATO benefits without being in NATO yet.
And that's exactly what's going on. And let's segue, let's finish that out, and then we're going to segue to number 2, because Officer Yasser's point is exactly, literally exactly what a Moscow represents. He says exactly what you just said, to the T, in his heavy Russian accent. Finish this out.
Ukraine attack. Currently, we don't know for sure what kind of weapon the Ukrainians were using for this attack. Furthermore, during this morning, we got additional videos from the same area, and in this video that took place exactly in the morning of 18th of September, we still see the consequences of Ukraine attack. We still see fire on the ground, and we still can hear the secondary detonation. Once again, according to some military Russian experts, the Ukrainians could attack the territory of Russian Federation from the territory of the Baltic states, because the distance from possible area and area of Ukraine attack is around 280 kilometers. But if we calculate the same distance from the northern Chernihiv area and to the same ammo depot area, in this case the distance is around 480 kilometers.
So you saw that the night explosion, and then even the next morning there was fire burning, huge smoke clouds, and that was from a fleet of drones. Now, number 2, the first timestamp. This guy, real quick, is a Russian analyst, and he's being interviewed by a British radio personality, Times Radio in Great Britain. And it gets a little heated, and he's going to talk. I like the way Officer Yasa said that, because there's no way you can do what you do unless you have satellite, highly advanced weapon systems that you just all of a sudden now get 2 years into the war. No. Play on.
Well, the main reason why Russia attacked Ukraine is to liberate Ukrainian people from clear terroristic, Russophobic, and neo-Nazi regime. It's first.
Yeah, well, it's not liberating it, is it? It's bombarding it, killing it, and killing its citizens.
Liberating them, and your government is lying.
Well, liberating them by killing them.
To lie. But okay, but go ahead and understand. Before this, during these 2 years, Ukrainian army strike Russian army. It's bad things, but it's reasonable. But mostly important that now you want to bomb Russian cities by your rocket missiles and by your satellite group. So you want to target your rocket missiles to the Russian cities to kill our people. Your Great Britain is going to do it. And you think that we will
well, hang on.
keep silent?
Because
Ukrainian army has no own satellite group. So it's exactly you are.
Pause. So, and that's the point, because, and this is not being played mainstream, he's a former advisor for Vladimir Putin himself. So this guy, when he speaks, he's not some Russian angry drunk that's just reading the newspaper. This guy is saying, look, your government lied to you. We're trying to liberate. We don't want to take Ukraine. We just want to liberate the Russian citizens that were there. We understand it's a push. It's a proxy war. If you launch missiles and kill the Russian people, he said, you think we're going to stand by and shut up? And this, I'm telling you, this is about to get deep, real heavy.
And he made him get in his feelings real quick when he said 2 years ago Ukraine couldn't do none of this stuff. Now all of a sudden they got weapons and they got satellite access and all of this stuff. That's why when he said your government is lying to you, that's what stirred him up. Like, what do you mean my government's lying to me? We're white. They wouldn't lie.
Play on.
These rocket missiles to Russian cities. And
Russia,
you think that
Russia.
say,
well,
okay,
hang on.
No.
Russia is getting weapons from Iran. Russia is getting weapons from China,
Yes.
which it is targeting at Ukraine and killing Ukrainian citizens.
No, they're not
Ukrainian
killing
civilians. So why can't
the
Ukraine
difference-
retaliate?
Yeah, the difference is very simple. If Russia gets some rocket missiles, which, by the way, Iran deny, but nevertheless, let's imagine that Russia gets some rocket missile from North Korea and from Iran. But we're targeting target ourselves. But Ukrainian army has no satellite group, and that's why it's your Americans and British going to target those rocket missiles to Russian cities. It's directed woman to war. You want to have war? Go ahead.
Well, what would war mean? Does that mean you expect if this attack on Russian territory with the assistance, clearly there is assistance from...
Not assistance.
well,
Not assistance.
yeah.
It's Ukrainian assist you. It's Ukrainian assist you. And those Ukrainians
Right.
which you made your proxy army. Because
Yeah,
most
okay.
of
And that's the whole point. And this is where what's going to happen years later. The Ukrainian children of the fathers that died, they're going to be great resentment because they're going to realize that they've been used. Because when Russia was over them, there was no beef. They lived comfortably. When the U.S. spit them up and used them out, and now something like 600,000 Ukrainian soldiers and counting have died, like over 500,000. And the U.S. is really ultimately responsible for that. And again, he's saying it. This is a proxy war. This is a proxy war. The U.S. is getting their special interest, and everybody that follows the U.S., from everybody in NATO, the EU, they're all benefit, with the exception of, like you said, Officer Micah, Officer Mikhail, Turkey, Poland. There was another country I think it was Czechoslovakia, and they remember the bishop showed, and the guy's like, Britain's the devil.
Yes,
you're the
yes.
devil. He was
Israel.
from.
Belgrade is another nation, but they're not in NATO. But Belgrade,
Yes.
they have a lot of help. Russia has a lot of help that's fighting this war. There's other nations actually out there fighting on the front line with Russia. So, but I wanted to bring out the similarities between what's going on in Ukraine and what went on in Africa, apartheid. And it seems America is fascinated with that. They're actually helping. They were helping the Ukrainians kill Russian citizens. That's why Russia stepped in. They had intervened once before to keep them from ethnic cleansing the Russian-speaking people. They tried to do away with the Russian-speaking language that was in those lands, which were on the border of Russia. And Russia came in, I think it was about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and finally they decided they were going to take those lands back. That's what's going on.
Right.
It was the Albanian prime minister.
Right. Yes.
Albanian prime minister that said, America's the devil, Russia's the devil, and Israel's the devil. He called all of them the devil.
And that's why we talked about the division that Revelation 17 talks about. What is going to make the 10? Remember, the 10 horns are actually on the beast, meaning the beast is in control. If I'm a horn on the beast, I go with the beast. I'm part of the beast. The horns are going to hate the whore, and they're going to break off, and the division is already started. We're seeing it. The economy is coming down in this Europe's largest economy. We did show after show on farmers striking, going to the capitals with their diesel tractors, dropping feces on the government, state buildings. It is France. They had the riots and the protests.
Yep.
It is going crazy in Europe, and everyone act like it's not all right. If you Google German economy and look at the number of businesses that are leaving Germany right now, it's a problem.
Hey,
It's a
Cap,
problem.
Can we pull up that map? Can we pull up that map of Europe? The red and the blue one that you had. I just need the map, the full map. Yeah. Yep, that one. So look, you have France. They already asked to be out of NATO and to join BRICS, but BRICS denied them. So there's already division right there. Mm-hmm. You got Turkey. They said, all right, I'm gone, I'm leaving. You got Poland. They don't want no parts of none of this war, which means a refusal is not the act of a friend. They said that in The Godfather, and Esau lives by those words. Germany, they was majorly affected by the blow up of the Nord Stream pipeline that Joe Biden took full responsibility for, and now their economy is tanking. They're going to be upset. So you got France, major player. Germany, major player. Poland, major player. All of just those three alone, they are against what NATO is already doing. They're against the war. They're against being enemies with everybody on the face of the planet, while the U.S. sits all the way eastward or westward in safety across the Atlantic.
And Captain Matt, Turkey is the second largest army in NATO.
Yes.
That's a big deal. And so Turkey, at first, they kind of give Russia a hard time about letting missiles and stuff come over their land. But now Turkey is neutral, and they can't provoke them to fight for NATO now. And that's a big issue for them, because if Turkey sides in with Russia, Europe is done. Europe is done.
Remember, this is a proxy war that's being fought on two fronts. It's Ukraine, what we're talking about right now, and it's also Israel. Problem with Turkey is Turkey don't like what they've been doing in Israel, and they've stood up, and when Israel killed Soleimani, a lot of people from Turkey.
Remember, we showed, I wish we can't get it now, but we showed a clip in Constantinople of them protesting, and there were hundreds and hundreds of. It was incredible, and you saw them, and they were all. And Erdogan is a fiery president, and that's an Islamic country. Now they may not be most of them are not, but their religion is Islam, even though their race is not necessarily Arab, but they stand with their religious brothers, and a lot of them, I think they're Sunni and Shiite. There's a mix in Turkey, but it's predominantly the main religion is Islam in Turkey. That's very important. Yasser said they're the second biggest army. They also have the largest drone army in all of Europe. They have advanced drone army. We covered that before. Finish this out because he says he's going to go on after this about the proxy army.
Doesn't want to fight, as you may know.
President Putin says that it's effectively a declaration of war. I'm just asking how we would respond. Should we expect that there will be attacks on British territory, for example?
Finally, yes. Finally, of course, it will be attack against British territory, but from the beginning, but it depends also on the Great Britain. But from the beginning, I think the British embassy will be closed. Then the Russian embassy will be closed in Britain. Then some of
real quick, to prove to you that this is escalating, like Officer Mikhail said, there's a war on two fronts. There's just an order out, it was either today or yesterday, for all British citizens to leave Lebanon. So it's already starting. Like there's, and we're going to get into next after the break about the front on the Israeli-Lebanon war. And it is to the point where the Arabs, Turkey, parts of Eastern Europe are starting to realize what's really going on. And that's the U.S.-led proxy wars and the unjust killings of the women and children. And most are going to stir it up. And there's going to be some major things that go down. And it may be this year, maybe next year, but and this should be all over CNN. And they're not covered. They don't care about this.
Hey,
They got you focused on Trump.
That guy just gave him an out. I don't know if he
Yeah,
picked it
I
up
heard-
or not.
I heard,
he,
yep.
he gave him an out. He said, "So you think there's going to be attacks on British territories?" He said, "I mean, finally, yeah, but it depends on Britain.
Right.
If you stay out our way, there won't be no attacks. But if you join in, there will be attacks." He gave him an out.
Facts. That's it on that video. Go to number 3. It's a short. It is. So it's going to tell you about Ukraine joining NATO. So, and this is a Russian official. It's a Security Council official. It's just short, real short, but it's good.
Russian official warns of World War III if Ukraine joins NATO. Kyiv is well aware that such a step joining NATO would mean a guaranteed escalation to World War III. Alexander Vedekotov, Deputy Secretary, Russian Security Council.
So notice real quick, that's a quote. It's not a talking video. That's a quote from an active member of Russia's Security Council. If NATO allows or accepts the Ukraine as a member, it's going to mean World War III. He's telling you that. Now, let this play out. Let's go to the next one.
Ukraine submitted a NATO membership bid after Russian annexed some of Ukraine's territories.
And you know what that would be, Cap? That would be the final encroachment eastward. That's what it would be. It would be the final encroachment eastward. Something that they said in 1991 would not happen. That would be the last straw for you to get right up on my border. That would be an act of war.
Full NATO membership for Ukraine will require consent for all 30 alliance members.
Stop right there. So remember what I said. It would require consent of all 30 members. Now, we talked about Turkey before. We talked about the other ones. But you'd be surprised when Esau want to get something to push through, even though Turkey is against Israel, you'd be surprised. All them devils work together. So we're going to show you with the next, is this done right here? The next video it goes into, it should be perfect segue.
Remember, they didn't want the Iraq war. And they went anyway. The US, they don't give a damn. They say all 30 got to be involved. But if they core 10 is good with it, that's what they going to move on.
Cap, to your point, you remember when they told which was it, Smart Bush or the dumb one? They told him, they said, "Look, don't go to Afghanistan." What he's like, well, he did it anyway. They don't care. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do." Yeah. That's the mentality of the U.S.
Allies and partners have provided unprecedented level of support.
So this is, I believe, this is the leader or the acting chair of NATO, and see if you can see if it gives his name. I don't know if it gives his name or not. That's okay. Okay. Secretary General of NATO. He's basically the top guy, the spokesman for NATO, and he's about to make. He had a press conference. He's about to make a proclamation about Ukraine. Remember what the security representative said. The acting security representative said for Russia, if the Ukraine joins NATO, it will lead. It will be World War III. Watch what this guy's about to say, and all this has happened in recent weeks. Okay, play.
Allies and partners have provided unprecedented level of support to Ukraine, helping them to retake and liberate Ukrainian territory. We will also discuss Ukraine's membership aspirations, and all allies agree that the NATO door is open for new members. All allies also agree that Ukraine will become a member of the alliance, and all allies agree that it is for the NATO allies and Ukraine to decide when Ukraine becomes a member. It's not for Moscow to have a veto against NATO enlargement. NATO allies and partners.
So he pretty much just said Ukraine is a member, and we don't give a damn what you talking about, Russia.
But here the deal is, what does it mean to be a NATO member? It means that you get weapons from that. That's all that being in. So Ukraine would get American jets. They're already getting some. They would get missiles and stuff like that. All the nations like Poland, they don't make those jets. Those are what are they, 22s, 23s, and all of that. All of their weaponry comes from
the West.
Britain. Germany makes some of the tanks and stuff, the French Leopard tanks and so on and so forth. So that's what it means to be a member. You get our warmongering equipment.
Yep.
That's the name of the toe, Esau the warmonger. And that's exactly what's going on. And the thing about it is that they're beefing with another warmonger. And Russia's not a pushover. We had Colonel Douglas McGregor, who's a phenomenal analyst, saying that the Russian army is being greatly underestimated by the political arena, and the real generals and the real men of any knowledge of war strategy. They're all saying this is not. We should focus on home. We don't need to fight over here in this front. But it's anyways. Go to the next.
Hey, can I bring a scripture out real quick?
Of course.
Go to 1 Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 11. This is the same playbook of Esau from the beginning. So what we're saying is not an opinion. It is fact based on biblical history. All right?
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 11. It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under the dominion all other kingdoms and ours that are at time resisted them.
So that's the United States. It was Greece. It was Rome. It was Rome back then. But guess what? It's the United States as well. Because it's the same people. They brought under their dominion all nations, even the ones that once resisted them. Because most of the countries that are in NATO was once attacking America.
Yep.
And then they joined together. Read on.
But with their friends,
With their who?
with their friends,
And what?
and such as relied upon them,
Ukraine relies upon them. Their friends. Their friends are NATO. Such as rely upon them. You're not in NATO, but you rely on us, so we're going to help you out. Read on.
they kept amity,
Meaning they kept peace with them. Go ahead.
and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, in so much as all they heard of their name were, that they conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, in so much as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
Anytime you hear, well, the U.S. is backing so-and-so, everybody tends to get scared and afraid. Just like it was back then, it is today. And the Ukraine is one of their little friends. And long as the U.S. put the stamp on them, everybody going to have to respect it. But that's not how it's going to go.
And to put it in perspective, because a lot of our people can't really relate to the way Russia may be perceiving this. Can you imagine if Russia started in Central America and started to take country after country and put them into a Russian version of NATO, and then they were right at Mexico's doorsteps, and now attacks were coming into the U.S. from Mexico? The U.S. wouldn't have it. It would be a full-scale, all-out war. If anything, Vladimir Putin is exercising an exceptional amount of patience and diplomacy. And actually, that's what the military strategists say. Putin is incredibly calculated, and he's not blowing up targets with children and women like the damn Netanyahu and the Israelis are doing. He's actually hitting strategic targets in the Ukraine. He's not killing massive civilians.
That dude was KGB.
Right.
Right. The KGB ain't no joke.
Cap, to your point about if Russia would encroach on the U.S., 1961, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Cuba
Facts.
is 90 miles off the coast of Florida.
Facts.
When Russia was in Cuba, we was on high alert, or they were on high alert here in America. And that was in the 60s, what, 40 years ago, 50 years ago now?
About 60, 63 years ago. But I'm going to say something. And Yasser, I wasn't born at that point, but I tell you one thing. I remember my parents mentioned, and some uncles and aunts, they really believed that World War III was like right there. If you hear any of your parents talking, any of you that may be in your 70s or maybe in your 80s that are watching, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis was just that it. Remember, World War II just finished in 45, so it was about 17 years later or so, and they thought it was World War III. And that's what the whole Cold War was, is an arms race for the ultimate destruction, which is leading up to this day. It was an arms race the whole time. Who can get the most nukes? Who can get position? That's why the U.S. ultimately, in their arsenal was, hey, now we got Hawaii, we got Alaska, now we got bases, we got 50-something bases in Japan. It's all, like you said, the game that you said,
Go.
All it is not geopolitical, but geographical positioning militarily to be able to attack your enemy. And that's what is going on right now, to the point where.
So during the Cuban Missile Crisis, it was believed at that time that there was minimal nukes at that time. It's not like it is now. It's enough nukes now to destroy the world. I don't know, they say 50 times over. Mm-hmm. So Kennedy issued the warning. He gave them a deadline. Get it out of Cuba or we releasing the dogs. He was going to let the nukes go. And that's why Russia pulled out at that time, which, again, shows that Russia doesn't want a world destruction. But the other stuff that's going on that U.S. covers up, where the Ukrainians are killing Russians and genociding, and now they're crying. I heard today that Putin said that Ukraine was going to blow up one of their children's centers to try to get into NATO, to prove that Russia needed help. So Putin brought that out.
They was going to basically false flag attack themselves, blame Russia, and then use that as a segue to get into NATO.
Hey, who that sound like? Remember the whole 9/11 incident? That's the same playbook. They do. They literally do the same thing. Like, okay, buildings go down. Let's go attack these dudes over here that's got camels and in a desert.
And that's the Esau war tactic that he did to destroy many productive industrial black towns during the turn of the 20th century, i.e. Rosewood, i.e. Tulsa, Oklahoma. A lie, and then from a lie or a misrepresentation of something like a rape, and then you could just kill them all. And that's Esau. Esau's a warmonger. So look, we're going to go to Officer Mikael with the Bible verses. We're going to go to our break, come back with kingdom music, and we're going to hit the second part, which is a dishonorable war, what you see all over the news the last 3 days in Beirut, in Lebanon, with the pagers and cell phones that killed and maimed many people. So y'all stick around, share our link. Thanks for sticking around for the late show. Shalom.
Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek, yeah, we fight back. We keep the law, we teach the law, they don't like that. We waking up the 12 tribes, they don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek, yeah, we fight back. We keep the law, we teach the law, they don't like that. Waking up the 12 tribes, they don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ blessed. Hey, this is your brother Officer Mikael, and this is the Bible verses Warmongers. Play the video.
Why? I just came from the doctor, and they said that I test positive for HIV. What's going on?
What?
I got my prescription and what's going on?
HIV.
Man, that's the same thing I said. What's going on? What's going on with you?
No, what's going on with you?
No, what's going on with you?
With you.
So you ain't been doing it.
No.
So we ain't been doing it.
No. I ain't been doing it. So really?
Oh my God.
Let me see that paper.
You gave me that. I know you the only person I've been messing with, man.
It say 2 refills. So
Man, stop playing with me, man.
So you been had these. You on your second refill.
You did it. You gave it to me. Stop playing with me.
You on your second refill. Why is you playing with me?
Man, quit playing with me. You know you did.
No, and
I just left the doctor. Now I gotta.
And you see why I ain't been giving you none. So you have to go run off.
God,
you did it with a stray dog. That's your problem. You can't touch me no more. You gotta get up out of here.
And then you blaming it on me. You know you the only person I've been sleeping with, Lex.
No.
Stop playing with me.
Take a picture of this and
man, give me my stuff, man. You know you gave it to me, man. You know you gave it to me.
Finna send it to your mama.
You know you gave it to me though, man.
Move this.
You know you did.
This not no. Me?
Yes, you gave that to me, man. What you mean? You the one that?
No. I have
really?
not been sleeping with you.
Really?
I have not been sleeping with you.
So you haven't been sleeping with me?
No. Yes, I've been sleeping with you, but I haven't been doing the do with you.
Oh God, job, man. I never thought in my life that I would get this, man.
You on your second refill.
I never in my life thought I would get this from you.
It say you on your second refill.
You gave it to me.
So after the second.
Man, I don't want to hear none of that. You gave it to me, man. I don't want to hear none of that. You a narcissist. You acting delusional right now. You know you gave that to me, man. You know you did. Stop with all the lies, man. It's eating you up in the inside. You don't even know what you finna say.
No.
It's eating you up. It's eating you up. You know you gave this to me, man. You know you gave that to me, man. You know you did. You dead wrong, man. You wrong. You wrong, man. You wrong. You wrong, man. You gave that to me, dog. Man, get out of here, man. Get your stuff, man. Get out of here, man. Man, get your stuff and get out of here, man.
Pick that up.
Man, you know. Get your stuff and get out of here, dog.
I'm not going nowhere.
You gotta go get checked out.
No, that's what happened.
I got it, and I know you got it. You gotta go get checked out. You better stop playing with your. You better stop playing with your body. You better stop playing with your body, man. You better go get checked out. I'm not playing with you. Get up, man. Get on my sheets, man. I gotta get whole new comforts, I'm finna get a whole new bed set. I gotta get a whole new bed. I ain't trying to get nothing else. I ain't trying to get nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Get up, man. I gotta change my sheets, dog. I gotta change my sheets, dog. Get up. I gotta change. I gotta get a whole new comfort, a whole new mattress, man. For real. You wrong. You wrong, man. I don't got no words for you. Pack your stuff up. I'm finna go get my prescription. I want you out of here, man. Pack your stuff up for real. I'm not playing.
And the moral of the story is Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Because regardless of who was at fault, both of them wrong. Both of them wrong. So it don't matter if she gave it to him or he been had it or whatever. Both of them wrong. Read that.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. So if he was laying down with stray dogs, he's a whoremonger. Obviously, they not married, so he's still a whoremonger. And if they were married, he's an adulterer. How will God judge you? Deuteronomy 28. Watch this. Because, you know, he tested positive for HIV. That died slow. That monster, the gangster. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
It says, them will the Lord bring upon thee till thou be destroyed. HIV is not written in the Bible. But guess what? It's a judgment of God because you can't keep your little wee-wee in your pants. So a lot of you brothers that's in this truth, that's committing fornication, oh, this can be you. This could be you. You can get tested positive because a lot of y'all brave. Y'all have no fear of the Lord, no fear of anything because you out here raw dogging somebody that you just met. Stupid. But anyway, this has been the Bible versus whoremongers. So y'all stay tuned, all right? Shalom.
Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek, yeah, we fight back. We keep the law, we teach the law, they don't like that. We waking up the 12 tribes, they don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek, yeah, we fight back. We keep the law.
Hey, look, Israel, I know y'all on y'all phones right now. So while you're on your phone, go ahead and scan the QR code, answer the 5 simple questions. Let the broadcasting technology team know how they doing. Let them know if they out here A1 getting it done or if they suck. Hey, that's the only way we're going to get better is if y'all answer the questions. Help us out. All right?
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. My name is Captain Shem, IUIC New Orleans. Help us to grow. YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell notification. And now it's even easier, y'all.
Hey, and also part of New Orleans camp, we got the community cleanups, cleaning up our neighborhood one at a time.
What y'all waiting for? Subscribe.
What are you waiting for? Subscribe! So much wrong going on in the world, but somehow we keep it all smile.
Subscribe and follow us on all social media accounts. We got TikTok, we got Twitter, we got Rumble, and YouTube. Make sure y'all follow IUIC New Orleans. Shalom.
Hey, also, we got flyer missions every day and also camp videos. Check us out, IUIC New Orleans.
So remember, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, and don't forget the QR code. When the QR code comes out, don't forget to take your phone out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why isn't it done? Shalom, Israel.
Good drink, can't I get just to have a good time? That's what we say. All praises to the Most High. All
play games and BS.
Today we stand in solidarity with the Johnson family, whose son was murdered by the sons of wicked people. We stand in solidarity with many of the families who have died erroneously. Even this week, a young man was murdered, hung in North Carolina. Brothers and sisters, we must repent as the Israelites, get our lives together in conjunction with what this Bible says. There will be more murders that white people do to our sons and daughters. More murders that the FBI, CIA, law enforcement cover up. And don't ever believe these churches in solidarity with us. Black people do not stand in solidarity with us. They come here in Martin Luther King's dream, his lie, talking about we all get together. It's a lie. We have not seen it since the time of slavery. Unjust murders, we will receive no justice until we return to the one true God. So brothers and sisters, as the Israelites, we must repent of our sins and ask for justice and judgment on the United States of America. Justice and judgment on Babylon the Great, because that is the biblical name of the United States of America.
We have to lead the people in the direction that the only way for these problems to be solved is for us to call on the Savior. Okay, it tells us in Luke chapter 1 verse 68 that the Lord God is going to raise up a horn of salvation, okay, to deliver our nation.
This world. This world. Your father was here on your left. You're right. Your mama was here on your left. You're right. Oh, nice come together. That's the thing in my head. Trying to come together.
Brothers and sisters, we must repent as the Israelites, get our lives together in conjunction with what this Bible says. There will be more murders that white people do to our sons and daughters. More murders that the FBI, CIA, law enforcement cover up. These murders, unjust murders, we will receive no justice until we return to the one true God. So brothers and sisters, as the Israelites, we must repent of our sins and ask for justice and judgment on the United States of America.
These nations, they hate that we winning. We blitzing your block, do you get it? They see black men that ain't sinning. Keep the law the only way you get in. It ain't my words, no, it's written. Follow Christ, be the real Christians. See that purple gold, no, we dripping. It's 100, we ain't mixing linens. Hey, hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, there's the king. Let's go. Hey, hey, 12. Hey, hey, 12 up. Sit down.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ, blessed Cap Matt here with Kingdom Music. All right, so look, you know, we got some artists coming out in Israel, man. These little dudes, they coming with some bars too. It ain't all it look. Righteous music is gonna be the new genre. All right, you're just gonna have to call this truth music, cause you know we got R&B, we got country. Shout out to my brother, Officer Yawan in Vegas. We got country. Country, it's coming. Y'all gonna see. We got R&B, country, we got rap, we got soul, jazz, everything. All right, but I really want to give a shout out to this artist, Psalms, coming straight out of Philly. We the Israelites, bro. Dude came with some bars on this thing. And, you know, I come from an era where you gotta have bars. You know what I'm saying? So let's knock this out.
Everywhere I go, I see such sin. I can't pretend I must defend. I will stand strong until the end. We the Israelites, we the Israelites. Everywhere I go, I see such sin. I can't pretend I must defend. I will stand strong until the end. We the Israelites, we the Israelites. Shalom.
reporting lies straight out of Nazareth. They lied about our Christ, and I'm surprised you people having it. First he was immaculate, and now he doing magic tricks. If you can't see the signs, then I suggest you get your glasses fixed. Came looking for slaves, and then they said it was an accident. Taught him how to till the land, and then they called the savages. I can't be too mad what you expect from a bastard kid. He prone to lie, cause he ain't have a dad to whoop his ass for it. Connect the scripture so well, like 2 and 2 equals 12. The gates of hell shall not prevail. Shout out to COINTEL. You in the midst of sin, repent or just get big like a shell. I pop the clutch and hop the curb, you see I aim to excel. Everywhere I go, I see such sin. I can't pretend I must defend. I will stand strong until the end. We the Israelites, we the Israelites. Everywhere I go, I see such sin. I can't pretend I must defend. I will stand strong until the end. We the Israelites, we the Israelites. Look, to hell with the fame. Christ is coming to recompense all the blood of the slain. If your mind wrapped up in folly, then it's off with your brain. You think it's a game, just keep them same thoughts from the pain. Hit you, rip you, fire burning all through your tissue. You think it's that time of the month, the way blood is your issue. Judgment shortened to the point, like how you sign an initial. Covering off the blood of Christ, that's how you know it's official. Cause everywhere I go, I see such sin. I can't pretend I must defend. I will stand strong until the end. We the Israelites, everywhere I go, I see such sin. I can't pretend I must defend. I will stand strong until the end. We the Israelites, we the Israelites.
Hey, bruh, telling you, man, dude was spitting for real. So, hey, all praise to the Most High, man. Look, original royalty, we coming up. All right, you know we're prophesying music. Music is prophesying. All right, never forget that. What we speak out is the word of God in song, just like David did, just like Asaph and his sons. All right, so shalom, Messiah Christ bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, this the Dream Team. Let's go.
Hey, Shalom Israel, welcome back. Precept upon precept. Throw the thumbnail up real quick so we can review for the second part of the show. So we covered in the beginning about what's going on with NATO and the proxy war with Russia. We showed you that the Ukraine will certainly be admitted into NATO, and what Russia said and how they've already launched a major attack at an ammunition depot in Russia. Not on the border, actually, northwest of Moscow. We showed you the map. We showed you what's going on. And now we're going to switch gears to deception, because what just happened is all over the news today, yesterday, about what happened in Lebanon with these cell phone, the old antiquated cell phones, and the pagers exploding. It's all over the news. You can drop the Ukrainian. We covered that. Thank you for that, though. This should be number 5 or 6. Let me see. Hang on a second. Yeah, is it an article or is it a video? Because y'all numbered them different. Go to Sky News. Sky News. How pagers and handheld radios can be modified to remotely explode. And Sky News is another, like Al Jazeera. It's out of Australia. They're actually pretty decent to be an Edomite news network. Yes, sir. Thank you. We can read that.
Yes, sir. How pagers and handheld radios can be modified to remotely explode. How does a decades-old piece of technology suddenly explode? Sky News talks to 4 experts about how a message to a pager or handheld radio could trigger a deadly blast.
It's amazing how they used. Now, this I remember in the early 90s, I had a pager. And obviously, I know you remember. Mikhail may remember. I remember how cool I felt with a pager. You get the page, I go to rotary phone, you go to the phone booth. I thought I was somebody, man.
I used to be embarrassed with them pages on. You be in the store and it go to buzzing off on you. Now, my job was calling me. That's why I was embarrassed, you know.
Well, see, I got it when I was a teenager. So for me, it was just, I'm getting paged. Like I'm somebody. But so now we have these supercomputers called iPhones. You can do anything. You can watch videos. You can record a video. You can record a music video. You can record, you can do anything with these phones. These are computers in your hand. And that was a big deal 30-something years ago, the pagers. And that's the old, is that a cell phone?
Yeah, that's a cell phone.
Wow. And so.
That's just prior to the digital phones.
So now these devices, which you can still get today, that we're going to find that Esau, the devil, okay, which from a perspective of being in war, it is an effective strategy to blindside your enemy, but it is a cowardly, and it is really crossing a line of any type of honor in warfare. If we could read, we have to read the whole thing, but we're going to get down a couple of paragraphs.
Sky News data and forensics team has spoken to 4 experts to answer the question, how does a pager or handheld radio explode? The pagers that exploded in Lebanon on Tuesday are consistent with the AR-924 model of pager with gold Apollo branding. The Taiwan-based company has distanced itself from the device, saying they were made under license in Budapest by a firm called Bach Consulting. The chief executive of Bach Consulting, Christina Barsoni Kono, told NBC News, Sky News, U.S. partner, I don't make the pager. I am just the intermediate. I think you got it wrong. Meanwhile, ICOM, the Japanese maker of the brand of walkie-talkies linked to the deadly blast, has said it stopped making the model a decade ago, and it would be impossible to lace them with explosives during manufacturing.
So let's put 2 and 2 together. The Israelis, the Esau, got a batch of those, did what they had to do, and then they marketed them to somehow get in the hands of Hezbollah, and they knew exactly what they were doing. And they didn't care if children got killed, if old people got killed. We're going to show you a video of a doctor shocked treating the people that have the injuries with these pager and cell phone explosions.
Cap, it's called an improvised explosive device, aka IED.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have to watch out for them on reconnaissance missions. They would, that's why we had to pay attention to detail. If you do a reconnaissance mission and you're outside the wire and you notice on this one street, the curb is broken up. That's just what it was. Ever since you've been there, it's been broken up. One day you come and that curb is fixed. They say stop the entire convoy because that curb was broken yesterday. Why is it fixed today? because they would lay C4 and overlay it and make it painted, make it look like concrete. And while you going past, boom, they trigger the explosive. This stuff has been going on for years. There's a scene from Law Abiding Citizen where they showed exactly how they do it. Can we play it real quick?
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, hell yeah, this is the one we showed. Yeah, this is good stuff.
Play that.
We just want to limit his options, give him less contact, less access, even if it's just rescinding his mandatory exercise period for a week.
Under what cause?
Whatever cause you want, wrap it around whatever piece of legal doctrine that helps you rationalize it. Your Honor.
So let me get this straight. You want me to violate his God-given civil rights in the name of some murky sense of the greater good. Is that the gist of it, gentlemen? Okay. I'm game. Just don't plan on it sticking for long. All right?
Wait, you can take that? After all the grief you've given me over cell phone.
Well, that's one of the benefits of being a judge, Mr. Rice. I can pretty much do whatever I want. Hello?
Boom. And this movie was out years ago, 10 plus years ago. They been know that they can do that. This stuff is not new. They're just now using it in a form of warfare because guess what? Everybody got a cell phone. Everybody has one. And if you don't, you have a pager that can be used as well.
Hey, Cap. Yeah. To your point, those batteries, and those old cell phones and pagers, those batteries, if they get overheated, they'll swell and explode. It's a simple rewire. That's all they're doing is rewiring it, and it's going to cause those batteries to explode.
Right.
And that's like you said, improvised explosive device.
I would not be surprised if in every cell phone they have the technology to do it remotely and just create a certain code and make our own cell phones blow up right now. Esau is slick, man. If they had that in that movie, there was probably 20. Jamie looked young in that picture. Say it was 20 years ago. You don't think now the way that they make these phones and the way that they now, I had a brother call me up and said, hey, do this, I can get access to your phone. He's in there he's in my phone, working on my phone remotely like you do at a desktop. How the hell hit this button, boom, boom, and then he's in there and I see him clicking and stuff on my phone. I'm like, wow, blew my mind. I mean, y'all tech nerds, y'all probably knew. I never knew that.
That may be the reason they stop allowing you to take the batteries out of the phone. They made it so the phones are sealed now, so you can't go in, update your batteries or nothing like that. But my suggestion is you better start wearing some, what do they call them?
I wouldn't even wear those Bluetooth earpieces either. I wouldn't.
So I used to fix cell phones, one of my many jobs. I used to fix cell phones. On the battery itself, there's a gold-plated sticker that you can't remove. It's on that battery. Gold is one of the best conductors. You can do anything. It's very easy for you to rig that battery to explode because you can't get to it other than opening up the cell phone, messing up your waterproofing, all of that stuff. You literally have to go inside of the phone, take your face off and all of that stuff. It's not like how it was back in the day. Your finger, you just click the back of it, the back comes off, the battery comes out. There's no more of that stuff. The battery is a part of the phone. They can rig it to what they want to do.
And so this is what the warfare is coming to. And Esau is the master of warmongering because he does not care if he kills 3-year-old girls, 85-year-old grandmothers that were checking their son's phone. And now, was that the one we just showed? Okay, so the doctor this wasn't graphic, but it was graphic language. Is that number? It says Beirut doctor describes wounds she had. Okay, so now so this is a doctor in Beirut, Lebanon. She looks like she's an Arab woman, pretty sure. And she's describing things that she's never seen before in the last 2 days, which it happened Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and she keeps seeing these repeated injuries. By the way, thousands of people were injured, and many, many people died out of that. Listen to what, it's a short 2-minute video. Listen to what she says.
We saw young victims and we saw very old victims, and all just had the same type of wounds. They had puncture wounds in their faces, they had amputated limbs, they had open abdomens, intestines out, bowels out. Unfortunately, there were wounds that we couldn't explain. There were ruptured eyeballs, there were fractured mandibles, fractured bones out. So basically, it was the first time I ever see wounds like that. I couldn't even classify some wounds or categorize some wounds. The hardest thing I had to do was tell fathers and even sons and daughters about their family members, about their loved ones. Surprisingly, again, they were very strong. Like I couldn't understand how they could pull all their emotions or stay in control. I feel numb. I'm still thinking that I have a lot of work to do at night, and I'm just thinking that how I'm gonna still have some energy for tonight's shift.
So that's what's going on, and that happened in the last. This is 2 days. This is never that I'm aware been used at this massive scale, where they're using it in deploying weaponry like this. And many of the people, it was targeted to a Hezbollah. Many of the people that died were not male soldiers. They were children and elderly, because you got to figure if the pager and the cell phone, it's not always going to be with them. They put it on the desk and the child's near there, and you're talking about abdominal injuries. You're talking about eyeballs rupturing. It's just horrible, you know.
Hey, can I get a script? Can we get Ezekiel 28:3? Because the Bible talks about this demon, and this is that level. You got that for me? Ezekiel 28:3.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
It says, thou art wiser than Daniel. It says Esau is wiser than Daniel. Who thinks to use a cell phone and a pager as a weapon of mass destruction? Because that's what that was, mass destruction. You're blowing people's abdomen out and rupturing their eyeballs with these devices. That's a devil. Only a devil would think that. Only the devil can give them that type of knowledge. That's why the scripture says they're wiser than Daniel and there's no secret hid from them. Because of their evil, wicked ways, they imagine to cause all kind of chaos in the world.
Facts. Do me a favor. Go to article number. I'm sorry. Did we get to number 6 yet? Get 6, and then after 6, I don't have to come back and tell you again. Go to, after 6, please go to number 11, because there's a leader of spokesperson for Hezbollah that is making some promises.
Second wave of exploding devices raises fear of wider Israel-Lebanon conflict. Beirut, September 18th, Reuters. Handheld radios used by armed group Hezbollah detonated on Wednesday across Lebanon's south in the country's deadliest day since cross-border fighting erupted between the militants and Israel nearly a year ago, stoking tensions after similar explosions of the group's pagers the day before.
So real quick, so it didn't happen all in the same. So first it was the pagers the day before, and then it was the cell phones. So they did it. There was very. And my thing is this: how did they know to sell pages and cell phones in large quantities. And how did they know that they were selling to Hezbollah? Because these Delta Force, CIA, these guys go in, they learn we talked about before, they make connections, they learn the language, they learn the culture, and then they go ahead and they set up confusion in the land. And that's exactly, there was, I think it was like one report said 2,800 people were injured from the cell phones and pager explosive devices.
Hey, Cap, it's easy for them to just watch the people that they get them from. You know, watch their suppliers, watch what stores they go to, watch where they get their cell phone devices, blackmail the store clerk, blackmail the distributor, blackmail somebody. You know, we know your secrets about this, and we know this, that, and the third. So if you don't do what we ask you to do, we're going to expose you. And then they sell them to themselves. They do that a lot. They turn nations on themselves in order for their warfare to succeed.
Read on.
Lebanon's health minister said 20 people were killed.
Leave it there. You all right? Because so when you look at the, it's very interesting how the first attacks between, if you look at the green and then look at the offset, which kind of like the mountainous region of Lebanon. So the first attacks were on the border of Lebanon and Israel. And now Beirut, which is literally on the peninsula, right in the middle of the coast. And it is a beautiful city from what I'm understanding. Look how far north that is. It's halfway up the country. And now they're attacking Beirut, which is a capital city with millions of people. And it just shows you that the Arabs are now with killing the Iranian leaders, with killing all the people in Gaza and the West Bank. And now these Arabs, when you read 2nd Ezra, they are going to remember their nature. Just like Russia is going to stand on their principles, the Arabs are going to stand on theirs, because a lot of Arab children, and by the way, these videos are going to surface in the next couple of days when you see people's eye sockets blown up. They're going to have videos of that. And when you see these real life images of Arab children with just destroyed, mutilated injuries, it does something. Okay, it does something. Like we show with Gaza, all the bombings and the fathers putting together his son in pieces. They showed you that. It was like horrible, and that's what sparked all of the outcry and the international protests throughout the world. What was going on in Gaza? So,
Cap. So what we can get from all of this is the farsightedness that this eagle has. He's looking way into the future. Right. The people who denied that their technology caused this are the ones who made it. And they knew years in advance that they were putting this out there and can be used. So there's another article that's out today where the cars are exploding as well. And we know that the technology they're putting in cars now, where the car can be driven outside of the driver, it can be taken over. Right. So they're putting stuff out there years and years in advance that they'll be able to take advantage of, just like they did with this. They hit it with a little microwave. I remember back in the day we used to have the cable boxes, and they would hit us with a microwave strike and knock all the cable boxes out, because we had them, back then they were jumping cable boxes out. And so the technology they have, what they did, they didn't just figure that out this week. Right. They knew long ago that they could do this. So they put in a spoke in the wheel for the Lebanese to be able to attack. They weren't able to control them, so they found another way to be able to control them. That they know where they're at, when they're at. They have all their technology. Same thing with us. I mean, if you're doing something on the cell phone, they have all your information. All your information.
And that's the beef that they're trying. Well, they did lock up the CEO from Telegram, because with Telegram, you can't monitor it like other social media accounts. And so they were using the justification, well, we believe that there's, which is wrong, by the way, murderous, crime, organized crime, and pedophilia. That's all wicked as hell. And they're using that because if they can take down the CEO of Telegram, then they can go up to Elon Musk. If you can take down these billionaire white guys, then you can't say you're being targeted because they did the same thing to Elon Musk. They will regulate, and they're going to come for us. They're coming for us. I think that read down to 3,000, and we're done here.
Yes, sir. Lebanon's health ministry said 20 people were killed and more than 450 injured on Wednesday in Beirut's suburbs and the Bekaa Valley, while the death toll from Tuesday's explosion rose to 12, including 2 children with nearly 3,000 injured.
So the injuries, like we're saying, the injuries that's why I played the doctor's video. These are not a sprained thumbnail. These are not a little laceration, a cut here. These are egregious maiming injuries that are going to scar them for life. So yes, you might damage your eye, but if your eye is out of socket and you can't see the rest of your life in one eye, or if you have, it blew off your arm or blew off your joint from your wrist down, these are the injuries that happen. They're horrible, egregious injuries. And when we start seeing these videos come up with most of these people that get hit are Arabs. When they start showing this and then they start showing the Gaza Strip, you're going to see that these Arabs, there's only so much division Esau can cause with money, protection, militarily. They are going to stand together. And let's segue right into the next video because this is the Hezbollah chief representative making a proclamation to the white man. It should be a video, I believe. It's an article. There's one I did a video, man. Hold up. I really want to show that video.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna get a scripture, Psalms chapter 64, verse 5 and 6. To Cap's point, they what our people don't understand, they'll use something like this to maim the Esau's mindset is deep. They say, okay, we know even the youngest ones of them are going to grow up into they're gonna grow up and they're gonna do something. Because the mentality is, I want to avenge my forefathers. You can't pay them off. They say, you know what? We'll maim that generation, because if you take a kid's arm, you take his eye, he can't join them. He can't grow up and be a war fighter. It's hard to fire AK with one arm. It's hard to fire AK if you're blind. So could you read that, officer?
What you got, verse 5?
Yes, sir.
Psalms chapter 64 and verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
So you think they wasn't sitting out and watching the foot traffic of who goes into this Radio Shack? Who goes into this Best Buy? I don't know. I'm just using those as general terms that people can identify with. But they'll watch and see who goes in there. Who's doing this? Who's doing that? Who's purchasing this? Who's purchasing that? Now, let's just do our little complex attack, and we'll put this into place of that now. Why? Read on.
They say, who shall see them?
That's how they think. Watch this.
They search out iniquities.
Read.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They'll do surveys. They gather intel. They gather information. They don't just do stuff on a whim. Esau, you see how people think about, how can I survive till tomorrow? Esau's thinking 10, 12 years down the line. They looking at the generation to come after that generation.
It's crazy because I remember when I was a kid, and this actually was before my day, is the Jetsons. We used to laugh, me and my brother, like, man, yeah, right. Yeah, like, and we would literally say, ain't never have no watch that talk. Like, we would literally, like, that's amazing. The writers of that, they were probably born in the early 1900s. They had the inclination to put in, who put in their head? Satan put in their head. So now you're a herb or you a lame dude if you don't have an Apple Watch. And these people now, they heart rate monitor, they can watch videos and all that on a watch that's synced with the phone. The phone could be 20 feet away from you. This thing is the next level. And by the way, flying cars, they're already talking about it. And they were flying cars back then. So another movie, Iron Man, loved it, first one, and he did all that, and they had all the tech in the house with the screen, what do they call it? Holograms. 1971, George Lucas, C-3PO, R2-D2. They had all that back then, and it looked real. Remember that? And Star Wars. Come on, man. Esau is wiser than Daniel, and this is why we do these shows, because we have to understand that the way that Esau is moving in the earth right now, everybody hates this guy. Isaiah 14. They're all going to get to the point where when they get him where they need him, is this the man? They're praying for Esau's destruction. And here's one of the guys right here. Segue right in.
On Tuesday, I want to describe very quickly, because it's well known what's happened. Israeli enemy has actually targeted many of the.
So this guy is, one thing about Arabs I got to respect, right? How is it that almost every Arab knows that the white man is the enemy, but yet about 90% of the Negroes, and some of them will say, yeah, the white man's the devil, but then they will be the first one to jump up and justify slavery and get over it, and that was then, and look, God don't see color. And we had it worse than these Arabs, and that was slavery just ended through Jim Crow, and civil rights just ended in the 60s, and yet the Negro can't see what the Arab sees. It's amazing.
Because they didn't destroy the Arabs' God.
True.
They destroyed our God and gave us their God. Like I saw a video today, old toothless white woman telling the black woman, this is just so many black people around. Why is there so many black people around? Look at your hair. Your hair looks stupid. You know what the black lady said? God bless you, ma'am.
Wow.
God bless you, ma'am. She said, thank you, but your hair looks stupid. Like, what the hell? Y'all cannot understand that these people don't like you? You can't? They, like Cap said, Ishmael, no, they the devil. And I know they're the devil, and we don't trust them. We do business with them, that's it. But I know that they are Satan.
That's why they know they're Satan, because they do business with them. And they know that their business dealings are faulty. That's why they're calling them the devil, because a lot of what's making these Arabs mad is these business deals that have gone wrong. The reason Osama bin Laden became public enemy #1 before they killed him was because of bad business deals. That's why his brother still teaches at Harvard today. It's because they were cool with these people at one time. Or did y'all forget about Oliver North in the Iran-Contra scandal?
All of them, Gaddafi, all of them, they all were in cahoots with, at one point when they were doing the U.S.'s bidding, they were fine. And Noriega, all of them. And then when the U.S. spits them up, and that's why this guy, Zelensky, that's what McGregor said. Zelensky's a friggin' pawn. And he made a prediction that he's going to be chased off somewhere. He'll be lucky if he survives. And this is the same Zelensky. You see him on the White House lawn shaking hands, and he's in all the press conferences. He's got another $25 billion coming his way. He's a pawn. And when they get, he's out, and he's an Edomite. They use whoever they want to. Play this video. This Arab man here understands who he is and who his enemies are. All right? Play.
The pages. It has been exploded at the same time. The enemy has actually crossed over all the red lines. It has not paid attention to anything, not ethically, no humanitarian, nor legal or lawful. The explosions were happened in hospitals, inside hubs, in hospitals, because some medics were carrying them, in pharmacies, hospitals, in markets, in shops, in houses, in cars, in the streets, where many civilians were there, along with women and children.
Hey, shalom, y'all. Hey, we're going to continue on. Watch the news, y'all. Watch the news. Outside news sources, Al Jazeera, Reuters, Sky News. There's a bunch of other ones that you can check out. They're going to give you information that's outside of the mainstream media. You need to watch sources and we need to watch what's going on around us, because this is going to lead to war, a large-scale nuclear war. We showed you what happened that Russia is actually being attacked. It's a proxy war. The U.S. and Britain, they literally are using their weaponry, and they're the ones, like Captain Matt said, they're actually fighting over there. You can't train a Ukraine guy that quickly in warfare like that. And if even let's just say that is true, and you do spend 2 years to train him, you've empowered him to use your weaponry to do your bidding. So it's the same thing. So look, we're precept upon precept, y'all. We're going to go to the back attack, and we're going to end a little bit early tonight. With that, stick around. Shalom.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Quick back attack tonight. I just want to, I intentionally want to sound like a broken record, someone that's going to keep repeating the same thing, just like we heard our whole lives, 3 meals a day. You heard it in jail, you heard it in the military, you heard it in the elementary school, you heard it in your dumb family rules. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks and dessert. Garbage. Get me the first video, please. You want to be a leader? You got to lead by example. Nobody's going to respect a fatback, lard-ass officer or captain or soldier. And you brothers that's coming up in the men of valor, you will not be no fat lard asses. We are going to change the perception of black America. Why? Because we're going to lead by example. So I like this.
Have a fat accountant or a fat doctor or a fat fucking tax guy.
You're hurting some feelings right now, man.
Imagine how that fat motherfucker, he can't keep the Cheetos out of his mouth, but he's going to take care of my numbers and my life. He don't even give a fuck about himself. Like your own, like your fitness is a requirement. Like I can't fuck with you if you're not into working out and you're fit. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't have a conversation with you. I can't comprehend that. How you could not give a fuck about yourself. That's where it all starts. Leadership, you want to talk about leadership, it starts with yourself. There's 4 dimensions of leadership. And most people think they just want being a leader. All right, I have followers, I'm leading men. That's a second level. The first level is you need to lead your motherfucking self first. And if that starts like the barest.
Now, excuse the language, but he's very, very candid. And if you think about it, right? He used an accountant, right? What does an accountant have to do with fitness? Well, a lot, because him or her, man, you got to understand, she can't manage herself, and you want her to entrust in being your CPA. So it goes back to how people perceive you. This is why the discipline of breaking Babylon's cycle of eating has to start with your mind. And I've been getting on your brothers for years. You do not need to eat more than 1 time a day. At the very, very most, 2 times a day. And that's if you're really into fitness and you're working out, you burn a lot of calories, you may have 2 good-sized meals. Anything else, you're going to literally give yourself insulin resistance problems going forward. Get me Sirach chapter 31. No, I don't want that one today. 30 verse 15 and 16. 30, 15 and 16.
The book of Sirach chapter 30 and verse 16. There is no riches above a sound body.
So let's just really think about that, right? Some of the major, Warren Buffett is a very wealthy man. Who else? Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. These guys have billions of dollars. Can you imagine if you had billions and billions of dollars, so much money that one of your problems is finding out what charities to donate because you're in too big of a tax bracket. You got all the houses, all the cars, personal chef, everything you can imagine, private jets, island, you own an island, you got a helicopter pad. One brother got a gas station, Akon got a gas station in his mansion. You got everything. Read it again.
There is no riches above a sound body.
So if you believe in the Bible, the Most High says, okay, riches are awesome to have that. But he says, there is no riches compared to a sound body. Read it again.
There are no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
So if you have a sound body and you have a good mental constitution, guess what? There's no joy above that. So even if you make $20 an hour, $15 an hour, and you really are struggling perhaps just to get by, as they say, but you are in shape, you are fit, your health is strong because you're following God's dietary laws and his other dietary laws outside of thou shalt not eat the swine, he's unclean to you. Guess what you're doing? The Most High is saying that you are above a billionaire. And if you brothers really acknowledge that, how are you still fat? I don't, like the white guy said, it makes no sense. And we're leaders. So it's one thing to make a proclamation, oh, you got to fix it. But there's now ways to do it. And in IUIC, all praise to the Most High, we have standards for men's health. And and you can't do that with women because they're too damn weak. We love y'all, sisters, but you literally will cry. Okay? Men, we can talk to each other like that. So we have standards in place that are going to gingerly educate men and move them in the way to health. And if they don't, they get certain consequences. Things get taken away and privileges get taken away. And then when they see the value in that privilege, they're going to get healthy. And we're going to change this generation and all the men that come in through our ranking system. I'm not going to tell you any details because some of our enemies watch this, but just know that there's entry levels and standards that they will not be allowed. It's called the dragnet. We're going to catch all the BS. You want to become a soldier? One of the standards, not only being biblically scholarly and understand how to pass a basic knowledge requirement, you are not going to be obese or overweight. So when you create that standard, eventually you'll get a bunch of fat lard asses that will just be rebellious, and they can stay back in the rear and guard chairs and be stupid. The rest, we're all going to move forward. Every one of us. So read it again.
There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
No joy above the joy of the heart. Read on.
Death is better than a bitter life of continual sickness.
And it goes back with the first one, because a lot of rich guys who are living their days out that have all kind of problems, they would give all their money in the world to trade for a sound body. So that's why it says that. Read on.
Delicates poured upon a mouth shut up are a messes of meat set upon a grave.
So read it again about the delicates. That's heavy.
Delicates poured upon a mouth.
So delicates are your sweets, your delectables. And one of the problems with us in America is that we eat so much sugar to the point where sugar, if it's not utilized as glucose and glycogen, it turns and stores as fat. So, and they had us in the 70s and the 80s thinking that saturated fat, that beef was bad for you, butter was bad, and that's not true. All those things are actually good for you in moderation. It's the high hydrogenized oils, excuse me, I didn't pronounce that correctly. It's the sugary foods, it's the carbohydrates that are literally killing us. We're eating too frequently. It's destroying our insulin sensitivity, making us insulin resistant, leading to diabetes too, which is the most profound disease, which is 100% reversible in every single case. And I'm talking about diabetes 1. I'm not talking about diabetes 1. Read on.
Delicates poured upon a mouth shut up are as messes of meat set upon a grave.
So basically, you're killing yourself. So we got to watch what we eat, and we got to watch how we eat. Now, play the next video. This guy here, all his stuff, by the way, unlike some con artists that used to be in Israel trying to sell you something, all of this information that you go on YouTube from this guy is free. You don't have to even subscribe to his channel. Him and there's a bunch of other doctors that are in the healthy, not the keto, the healthy keto community that have helped a lot of people. And really, the reason why I like it is because the things that are saying literally align directly with the Bible. Okay, it's just digestible. It's a nice YouTube package. Listen to what this guy, Dr. Berg, is saying. Matter of fact, Deacon Asaph shared this with us at men's conference. A lot of this information as well. So play.
Transition from your 2 meals a day to 1 meal a day. That's called OMAD. Now, why is this so important? Well, you get 23 hours of fasting, and that's when the magic happens. When you transition from this 18 hours of fasting or 16 hours of fasting or 20 hours of fasting to 23 hours of fasting. That's huge. Your liver has a chance to really regenerate. Your entire digestive system has a chance to reset. The insulin receptors that have been so downgraded start becoming...
Pause. This is very important, and it took me a long time to learn this. Insulin is a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. Insulin is responsible. Every time you introduce carbohydrates into your body, insulin, it acts as a process so that it can get the sugars where they need to be, right? When you eat too frequently, the insulin now becomes resistant. When it's sensitive, it does its job very quickly. You eat so often and so much carbohydrates, your insulin becomes resistant, and then you can't process it. And then what happens is you got to get on diabetes 2 medication. If you just eat less frequently, cut out the carbs and sugars, you will reset insulin sensitivity and cure yourself of diabetes. It's just that simple. There's been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of cases of people who have literally reversed diabetes 2. And there's a lot of you in the body that have it. You're rebellious as hell. You don't damn listen. The solutions are right here. And I hate to say it, but you get what you deserve. If you don't want to follow counsel, you get what you deserve. Or you get what you deserve. Pizza, you know you got insulin resistance, and here you eating 4 times a day. You eating pizza, you eating donuts, you eating cookies. You're killing yourself. We just read that. Sirach 30 and 15, you're putting meat upon your grave, man. So we got to come out of this. Play on.
Extremely sensitive. Your ketones start increasing by 3 times. And your body is finally becoming fat adapted to the point where if you did go off the program, your body can bounce back fairly easily. In other words, if you do OMAD, your body becomes a fat burning machine.
Pause. And this is why you brothers that need to lose weight. The reason why you become a fat burning machine is because your body's working with insulin sensitivity the way it's supposed to, and you're getting the things that need. Your body's healing itself. As a result, you're eating less calories, and it's taking the stored fat and it's burning it. And even after you lose all the weight, it helps you. So brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, you either going to get right or you're going to get left. Get right, get right, get right. OMAD, practice, try it. 1 meal a day. Talk to your doctor first. Bishop, thank you. I hear Bishop. Thank you, Bishop. Talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor. Get permission from them. And when they give you permission, eat 1 meal a day. Try it. Nothing outside the window except for water, black coffee, green tea. Enjoy your food. And keto food is absolutely delicious, okay? Here's one example of a keto meal. I'll give you a couple of examples before we close out. If you were to have, say, a salad, some people can't do kale, a nice salad, and I tell people the store-bought salad dressing is garbage, full of hidden sugars. You can make a salad dressing from 3 parts: your oil, your acid, and your spice. Here's an example. Super easy, absolutely delicious. Organic olive oil, if you can get it, there's your oil. A lemon or a lime or apple, there's your acid. And then some salt and pepper, some Mrs. Dash, whatever spice. Put that together. Those are 3 ingredients. There's no carb, and it's absolutely delicious. Put that in a nice big salad. Start with that. Then you go into your protein and fats. Maybe it's a nice big piece of salmon. Maybe it's 8 or 6 to 8 hard-boiled eggs, or maybe it's 8 scrambled eggs with some cheese. This is your whole meal. Then maybe it's a bowl of blueberries and raspberries, some pecans, some Brazil nuts, and maybe some goat cheese. It seems like a big meal. Might be 1,800 calories. You need 3,000 for the day. You're in a caloric deficit. You had all the nutrients you need, and you're going to heal yourself. Okay? Just research OMAD, healthy keto, 1 meal a day. Look for recipes. All right, yes, I'm annoying. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. You get right or get left. Green means go. Yellow means you better pump the brakes, slow down. And red means, lard ass, you ain't doing a damn thing till you get to lose the weight. So with all the pleasantries out of the way, Most High and Grace bless. Captain Shem, I'm out. Lard back attack.
Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going on.
Hey, look, Israel, make sure y'all taking y'all phones out, scan the QR code, let the broadcasting technology team know how they doing. It's 5 simple questions. It don't take that long. Scan the QR code, answer the questions. Hey, while y'all on y'all phones, all praise to the Most High, y'all scan the QR code and answer the questions. Now, y'all can give alms to help the broadcasting technology team. As they get better, we get better equipment, we make the show better. You can give alms to iuic.neworleans@israelunite.org. Make sure y'all put in the notes that y'all donating to Precept Upon Precept. Give alms at your local school by dropping it in the alms box, or you can do that online. Also, make sure y'all giving to the Booster Club. Did y'all not see the bishop call down rain overseas? It rained. It hadn't rained there in months. Hey, these type of things happen when y'all are giving to the Booster Club so we can fund these trips, because we can't prophesy throughout the world on YouTube because everybody don't have access to YouTube. You got to go see people face to face. And that's how y'all put in a major brick, is by donating to the Booster Club. iuic.fundraising at israelunite.org.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Thanks for sticking with us. We tracking time great tonight. Listen, don't forget, right? We're stuck right at 27,000 for like months. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Rumble. And go ahead and share, like, hit the bell notification, because every time a video comes out, hey, boom, you get notified, get the video, and just share it, because without your help, we can't grow. Also, shout out to Sister Sharon. Shout out to my wife. She be sending me stuff. I should have played it tonight. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters who send us stuff. And I hope that we're edified. And look, I was thinking that I was talking to Officer Yasa a couple weeks ago. The man's got a lot of books on the Dark Ages, and we about to go into doing some shows on the Dark Ages. I'm really looking forward to that. So I think we're going to be getting into that in the next month or two. So, but if you have ideas, let us know. All right, let us know. We know we can improve. You know, we're trying to improve. So, all praise to the Most High. With that, anything else, brothers? We good? Nope. All praise. With that, we precept upon precept. I'm Captain Shem.
Captain Matt.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Yasa.
Officer Micah.
And with that, we say shalom.
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 There's a special place that I like to go with nobody's home to increase my understanding. My daily bread that amazing. I'm talking about precepts. Precept on precept, line upon line. Precept on precept, line upon line. Babe, I can't keep explaining, can't study for you. I can't think of nothing, wasn't nothing gonna